Relationships are at the heart of everything that we do. I mean, let's face it, everything that we do, a relationship is involved. If it's an interaction with a human being, there's a relationship there. I mean, think about your family and your friends. We have relationships with those people. Some are good, some are strong, some are a little frustrating, some are a little challenging. I mean, there's all kinds of different things, but they're a relationship. Think about business. I mean, whether you work for a company and you deal with other employees, deal with a boss, or you self-employed, you're an entrepreneur, you're dealing with clients and building a business, it's all on relationships. And to the degree that we can love others and respect others is the degree of success we'll have in them. We can't get away with it. If there's a human interaction, there's a relationship involved. The problem is, even though relationships are at the heart of everything we do, our hearts aren't always in the relationship. We can be on our best behavior when we get to meet someone, right? We're showered up, we're dressed up, we're using our best manners, we're being agreeable, we're obliging, we're doing all kinds of things, we're bending and accommodating, we're doing everything perfect. But then after we secure the relationship and it grows and we become familiar with one another, regardless of what level we're at, we can start to take advantage of it. We can start to back off a little bit. Well, I want to encourage us to start looking at our relationships, but realizing that we need to maintain a lot of effort to keep that moving forward, regardless of the area. If it's family, we know that year after year it can become challenging sometimes, especially when it comes holiday season and we grow and mature, we're away from home and we go back for visits and stuff. We know it can be challenging sometimes. Even best of friends can get on each other's nerves sometimes. It takes effort to get past those things. And that's often what happens in relationships is we're unwilling to go past things. We're unwilling to work past the differences, where we're maybe not agreeable with things. We're unwilling to move past those things. Well, I want to encourage you that we need to start to look at the effort that it takes to maintain relationships. It's kind of like buying a car. Think about when you bought your first car. Right, you took care of that. You polished it, you waxed it, you washed it, you cleaned it, you looked after it. When you went to a parking lot someplace, what'd you do? You parked away from other vehicles so nobody would ding your door, and you were really mindful of everything about that car. Over time, did you kind of back off a little bit? You know, you might have saw a little scratch. At first, you were really worried about it, and then you buffed it out. Next time you see a scratch, you go, oh, well, it's just one scratch. You know, it is an older car. I've had it for a couple of years now. And over time, we can begin to not appreciate or value that car quite the same. And some people will just let it go and just allow the thing to be dinged up and destroyed and not clean it, not look after it, not maintain it, not change the oil, not do anything in it. We could do the same thing in relationships. We can take advantage of them. We could just take them for granted and not invest the energy that's necessary in order to maintain healthy relationships. And not only maintain them, but to grow them to another level. I mean, it is possible when let's take a spouse or a partner. We're in a long-term relationship with someone, and we can just kind of meander through life and not really invest any more effort into things. We can stop taking care of ourselves so much. We can do all kinds of things like that. But imagine if you put just as much effort into your relationship 10 years into it or 5 years into it as much as you did when you first got together. Imagine where that relationship would go. I want to encourage you to begin to consider the effort that's necessary in order for relationships to continue to develop. You don't just enter into relationships and just say, okay, I've got it, I'm in it, I don't have to do any more work. No, we need to continue to maintain that. Just the same way as we would in a business relationship. We get a job, or we sign on a new client, we make a sale. We want to do the follow-up. We want to continue to shine. We want to continue to bring our best foot forward. We don't want to just kind of do the bait and switch and just be really nice, get the project, get the job, seal the deal, and then just kind of back off and just become somebody different. If we maintain our integrity, if we maintain our approach to continue to serve and to look after people, your relationships are just going to continue to grow and evolve and to develop. So I want you to do this right now. I want you to think about a personal relationship. Let's take a personal relationship right now. It could be a friend, could be a family member, could be your partner. Think about that a relationship that maybe there's a little bit of, let's say we backed off a little bit. We're not putting as much energy into it. Think of one area. You got it? Now think of what thing you could do to make that better. How could you start to reinvest in that person? How could you start to show that they mean something to you? How can you begin to demonstrate that they really are at the center of your heart? Now, think of a business relationship or a client or an employee that you work with. Think of a business, work-related relationship. Is there something there that maybe you're not investing in? Are you still being that ace person for your boss? Are you still being that ace as a salesperson or a sales rep or being that ace with your clients? Are you still moving forward with great integrity? Now, here's the third one. I want you to look at yourself. What are ways that you need to show up for yourself? I've often said that to the degree that we can love ourselves is the degree to which we will love others, and that will dictate our success. If we don't love ourselves, it's hard for us to love and respect and care for people outside of ourselves. When we have a good relationship with ourselves, when we can look at ourselves in a mirror and say, I like myself. I really appreciate myself. I value myself. I know I'm capable of doing things. I know I'm good at doing things. If we can have that kind of relationship, that kind of dialogue with ourselves, we can begin to extend that same thing to other people. So I want to encourage you to start looking at your relationships. And over these next 24 hours, think about ways that you can improve on those things, that you can start to reinvest in yourself, reinvest in perhaps your partner or a family member, and reinvest in your business, your company, or the place that you work for. Look at ways that you can level up your game and become that very best person that they expected, that they saw. I mean, people see potential in us when we put our best foot forward. And as we continue to put that best foot forward, as we continue to maintain that, it just elevates our game day after day after day. Does that make sense? So I want to encourage you. Relationships, as I said, are at the heart of everything we do. But our heart isn't always in our relationship. Get your heart back into your relationships. Find ways that you can continue to grow. Work through those challenges. Work through those areas where you're disagreeable. Work through those things and begin to elevate your relationships to that next level. Look, I look forward to talking to you again real soon.